The situation has been building quietly. Then suddenly it exploded across social media, group chats, comment sections, and street conversations. And many people started reacting emotionally without first understanding what was really happening. What we are seeing now is a serious moment that mixes law, culture, politics, identity, and public perception. And that is why it is important to explain it clearly, calmly, and truthfully, so everyone can follow and make sense of it. As you're listening to this, please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss important updates like this. Your support really helps the channel grow. The main issue revolves around Lagos State, making it very clear that no individual or group is allowed to create, assume, or operate as a traditional ruler within the state without official approval from the government. This instruction is not new, but the enforcement has become firmer, and that is why it is now drawing attention. Over time, Lagos has noticed an increase in people declaring themselves as kings, chiefs, community leaders, or cultural heads, even when such titles are not recognized by law. Some of these individuals go as far as organizing ceremonies, wearing royal regalia, setting up palaces, and collecting money from people, all without legal backing. The government believes this trend can create confusion, conflict, and disorder, especially in a state as complex and diverse as Lagos. As this policy began to be enforced more strictly, social media conversations started to twist the narrative. Some online voices pushed the idea that this move was targeted at specific ethnic groups, particularly Igbo and Fulani communities living in Lagos. That interpretation spread very fast, and before many people could pause to verify, fear and anger started rising. It is important to slow down here and look at facts carefully. The government position is centered on law and regulation, not on ethnicity. Lagos State recognizes that it is home to Nigerians from every part of the country, and its laws are written to apply to everyone equally, regardless of origin, religion, or background. Please, as you're following this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps more people hear balanced and clear explanations like this. The challenge comes from the emotional weight attached to traditional titles. In many Nigerian cultures, kingship and chieftaincy are deeply respected institutions. They represent history, heritage, and leadership. When people see actions involving these titles, they often interpret them through cultural or ethnic lenses rather than legal ones. That is why some people quickly concluded that the government was saying certain groups were not welcome. In reality, the government is saying that no one can operate a traditional institution in Lagos without following the legal process laid down by the state. Another layer to this story is how misinformation spreads online. A single headline, when framed in an aggressive or emotional way, can change the entire meaning of an issue. Words that suggest expulsion or rejection trigger fear, and fear travels faster than facts. Once people feel threatened, they stop listening and start reacting. This is exactly why careful explanation is needed now. Lagos is not banning cultural expression. Lagos is not telling anyone to leave. Lagos is enforcing regulation to maintain order and prevent misuse of authority. Let's also talk about why the government is concerned about unregulated traditional rulers. In recent times, some individuals have used self-created titles to gain influence, collect money, settle disputes, or speak on behalf of communities without authorization. This creates parallel power structures that can clash with recognized institutions and government agencies. When disputes arise, it becomes difficult to determine who has legitimate authority. In a city like Lagos, where millions of people live and work together, that kind of confusion can quickly lead to tension and conflict. As you listen, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who need a clearer understanding of what is going on. There is also the issue of security. Any figure claiming authority over a community automatically gains influence. If such influence is not regulated, it can be abused. The government's responsibility is to ensure that leadership structures within the state are transparent, accountable, and lawful. This applies to everyone, whether they are indigenous to Lagos or residents from other parts of the country who have lived there for decades. Now, it is also important to acknowledge the fears people have. Many Nigerians living outside their ancestral states are sensitive to anything that sounds like exclusion. History has shown that careless words and actions can lead to serious consequences. That is why the government and community leaders must communicate clearly, and citizens must also seek understanding rather than panic. Unity in diversity has always been one of Nigeria's strengths, and protecting that unity requires honesty and calm dialogue. Please pause for a moment, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's continue breaking this down together. Another important angle is the role of community leadership among non-indigenous groups. Many ethnic communities appoint coordinators or cultural representatives to organize events, settle internal matters, and liaise with authorities. There is nothing wrong with that. The issue only arises when such roles are presented as traditional kingship or chieftaincy with royal authority, especially when the state has not recognized them. Community leadership is allowed. Self-declared royalty without approval is where the law draws the line. This distinction is often lost in online arguments. Some people assume that stopping unauthorized kingship means stopping community organization. That is not the case. People are free to celebrate their culture, hold meetings, and support one another. What the law restricts is the assumption of formal traditional authority that carries legal and political implications. As this story continues to unfold, it is important for everyone to choose responsibility over sensationalism. Influencers, bloggers, and content creators have a duty to present issues accurately. Exaggerated headlines may bring attention, but they also create fear and division. Citizens, on the other hand, must learn to pause before reacting, especially when a story touches on sensitive identity issues. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can keep getting calm, clear, and professional explanations like this. At the heart of this entire issue is a simple principle: law and order. Lagos State is asserting its authority to regulate traditional institutions within its territory. This is not unusual. Many states do the same. The difference here is the diversity of Lagos, which makes every action appear more sensitive. That sensitivity requires careful handling by both the government and the public. Moving forward, dialogue will be very important. Government officials need to continue explaining their position clearly. Community leaders need to reassure their people and discourage fear-driven reactions. Ordinary citizens need to avoid spreading unverified claims. When all these pieces work together, tension reduces and understanding grows. This situation also reminds us of how powerful words are. A single phrase, when taken out of context, can ignite nationwide debate. That is why clarity matters. That is why calm explanations matter. And that is why conversations like this are important. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who want to understand the real story without noise.